Good evening, ladies, and welcome to our last session for the year. And my name is Monaro Nematayeni, and I'm so excited for us to be starting with this session. This was our last book for the year. And welcome, Nkanyiso. And we just starting, I'm just opening, and then we'll do the introductions. And thereafter, we will hand over to you to take us through the book, and then we'll engage you, ask questions. I finished reading the book this afternoon, and I was like, oh my word. Like things that you thought were normal things, and then you see it happening in your life. And then now when you read about it, you're like, oh, well, I can relate to this. What am I doing? I must do things differently, and I must always choose myself. But we'll get to that later on. And to people that are joining us for the first time, you're most welcome. This is Empowered Women Book Club. We started in 2019, and then the past 5 years, we've been empowering one another and also educating and celebrating. So, as Empowered Women, we are a registered nonprofit organization working for the rights and empowerment of women. The work that we do speaks to different sectors, and we tried being flexible, not to say, yeah, this book club is focusing on reading this type of literature, but with that, it allowed us to explore other themes and other reads. And we have members throughout the country, and then also members outside of South Africa. And we are looking forward to this journey. And yeah, so we'll do the introductions where everyone will go ahead, introduce themselves. If you've got something exciting to share, those with year-end fatigues can also share about how that's going. But I'm just excited that we are here tonight, and I look forward to engaging further. So you're most welcome, and feel free and please participate. This is going to be an interesting one because I'm sure each one of us had had an instance of falling in love, and we can point back and say, oh, what love is. So, introductions, Catherine, over to you. If you can introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Catherine Peary. I'm a published author of 5 books, and I'm also an avid reader. I joined Empowered Women last year around September, October. And yeah, it's been fun being around you ladies, and I've got to learn a lot from you guys, and I'm looking forward to the next year. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Catherine. You joined last year, and we've already read two of your books. Wow. Okay. We look forward to reading all of them. Eunice, over to you.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. My name is Eunice Chawalala, and I'm a business analyst by profession. And I've been a member of Empowered Women Book Club, I think, for 2 to 3 years now. I don't get as much time to be able to participate in book reviews as much as I'd love to, but I'm glad that I'm a part of the session today. And I'm hoping to learn a lot more here. And it's been a very interesting year to say that. There's been a lot of relocating from one place to the other. Happy about the festive season, the holidays, and the likes. And I hope you guys are also feeling it as well. So, yeah, that's just about it from me. I look forward to the session. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for the introduction. Let me go to Tawanda. You can unmute and introduce yourself.
Good morning, everyone. For me, it's morning. I'm in the United States. I'm Tawanda Talley, and I'm a tribal member and representative from the Chernhaka Indian tribe, and I'm in Richmond, Virginia. And it's great to be here with all of you ladies.
Thank you very much for joining us and for the introduction. Busisiwe, over to you.
Good evening, beautiful ladies. It's Busisiwe Ngwenya. I'm an author, a speaker, and anything in between, but an author more than anything else. Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much. I feel the pressure with all the authors. Who did I leave at? Oh, Busekile Kumalo. Can you introduce yourself? Unmute.
Hi everyone, my name is Busisegile Kumalo. Sorry to join late, but I'm an author and also a member of ImPower'd Women, and I'm so excited to hear about love.
This is the kind of book that when I was reading, I thought of you, I thought of Catherine, and I was like, oh my word, this woman must read this book. Ruzani, my boy, if you can introduce yourself, what's interesting, what's happening in your life?
Hi everyone. Sorry, I can't switch on my video right now. I'm Rudzani Maboi. I am a climatology researcher by profession also. I'm an admin. I love to read books. I wish someday I'll also be saying, hi, I'm an author. Yeah, no, it's coming soon, don't worry. Uh, Interesting thing, I just celebrated my birthday, so woohoo! And I'm just happy to be here with you guys. I joined ImPower'd Women about 2-3 years ago, and I see the value of it. So I hope you guys are here to stay.
Thank you. I see their hearts in the celebration. Happy birthday. Yeah. And then when you were like, I'm not gonna switch on my video, I was like, hey, Nendo, this one sitting with a man. Since we're talking about love. But anyway, let's go to Namibia. Lina, if you can introduce yourself. How are you feeling?
Good evening, ladies. I apologize, there's background noise around me. It's my brother's radio. You know, when you are the younger sister and you have a big brother and there's nothing you can do about his noise and everything. But I hope you can hear me.
Yes, we can.
My name is Lena. I'm from Namibia. I'm almost everything, and I've been following ImPower'd Women. I think since is it 2021 or 2022? There, I can't remember. And I came to love these sessions because for us, this side to get most of the books that you guys read that side is kind of difficult. So then I thought I may not be in the position to read the book, but I can always just catch up on the sessions. That's why you see me popping in here and there. Otherwise, we look forward to the fruitful session. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Over to you, Nkanyiso. You can do the introduction, and then after that, I will give direction.
Hi, ladies. Thank you so much for joining. So I'm Nkanyiso Siziba. I'm from Zimbabwe. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm Nkanyiso Siziba. I'm from Zimbabwe. I'm an author. I love to read. I love stories. I also act. What Love is my first book, but I've written 3 books actually. I'm doing my 4th one now. And yeah, so happy birthday, Rudzani, and thank you everyone for joining in. I'm looking forward to today.
Thank you very much for introducing yourself. So during the year, we usually have someone that will do we'll hand over to you to do the didactic, which is like take us through a theme or take us through the journey of writing this book. And thereafter, we'll have someone who does the case presentation, someone who has read the book, who will then share about the book, give an overview. And thereafter, we have questions and then we engage with you as the author. But for today, I just want to keep it casual. It's the end of the year. We are exhausted. Some of us are excited. People are going to buy Christmas clothes and some will be traveling. So if you've got a glass of something, get a glass of something. Those that are allowed to drink, some of us are married. Those that are allowed to drink, you can grab something and then let's have this conversation about what love is. So I'm going to hand over to you, Nkanyiso. Take us through this book, what love is. 5 to 10 minutes.
Okay, so what love is a story about dating, right? Umjolo and all its ups and downs, and I think that women are created with a container for love. All human beings are, but I feel like women we really look for love, and I think men, yeah, they want love, but maybe they also want respect and other things. But I feel like for women, love is like the ultimate thing. You know, you can see like the songs that are sung, the books that most of us write. It's all about love and seeking love. And so I think it is important that in as much as we seek love, we then know what it is that we're looking for. Because sometimes we find fake things, fake love and fake whatever that masquerades as love when it is not. And so I feel like that's what makes dating so hard and so confusing, especially when you're a young lady and you're starting out and you really believe that, love is out there for me and I'm just going to stumble upon it. I'm going to find it. It's going to fit into my life hand in glove and I'm going to live happily ever after. And then when you start dating, you notice that actually things are not that simple. There's a lot to find out, a lot to learn, a lot to think through, a lot to work through. There's just so much that happens, and in the process sometimes our hearts are broken, sometimes we experience mental health challenges, etc. So when I wrote this book, I wrote it to my younger self. I wrote the things I wish I knew when I started dating, because most of the story anyway is inspired by my life. It is a fictionalized version of my life, strongly fictionalized. I don't come from royalty. My father's not a chief or anything, so I was just trying to hide my what under a lot of all the other things. But the gist of it, dating a narcissist and then having to bear the brunt of that, when you don't even know what hit you. When you know, at least you can be like, oh, this is gaslighting. Oh, this is manipulation. But when you don't know and a person tells you they love you, even though their treatment is clearly contrary to what they're saying, you're confused, you blame yourself, and the effects on your mental health are so much. So in my experience, which is what I put out in Unonhle, is that's what it was. And so I wrote the story to heal, and I'm happy that everyone that has read the book always comes to me and says, wow, your book has healed me. I love how your book heals me. And to me, that's the triumph of the story, that at least I was able to say what I wanted to say. I actually wrote What Love Is, I think, 6 times. I started writing it COVID era, 2020. And I kept having to redo it because I was still afraid to say what I wanted to say, because it felt like I was reliving the pain. Actually, I never used to drink. I started drinking when I started writing this book because it was so hard to own up to the feelings and to my own ignorance and to my own mistakes and to my own weaknesses. It was just like, oh my God. And but then I'm glad I finally did it. And even editing was hard because it's like you're standing in front of a mirror and watching yourself talk back to yourself. But now I'm glad I can now read it without crying. I can now read it and it's like, okay. So I guess for me, the book worked in that it did heal me. It worked also because it looks like the people that read it appreciate the story, and I was able to represent the trauma well and to bring healing and hope and wisdom and knowledge to anyone who reads it. So yeah, that's all I can say for now.
Thank you very much for that. And to the ladies that haven't read the book, I got to read the book. It was one of those books where you read and you're just like, oh my God. It took me 2-3 days to finish the book. And it was because I was making notes. There was so much wisdom on the book itself. And sometimes it's little things that when it's written, you're just like, oh, okay, let me note this. And I also started listening to Mozart. That's how you say it, right? Um, and as I
It's
was
Mozart.
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 Okay.
Yeah, Mozart.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
listening to that. It was so beautiful. And I was like, when she said that she doesn't want to listen to things with words, it makes her cry. And I was just like, but this stuff is nice. And my husband is like, nice music. And I was like, oh, okay. But they don't know that all these things are coming from the work that we have read. So I just want us to go around, maybe just to share when we say what is love to you guys? Gusekile, you write a lot about love and all the drama that makes us want to neglect our families and just stick to your books. What is love? What love is?
Love is having someone ask you why their slippers weren't washed while you're on Zoom trying to be important. No, but I think first of all, I'd like to commend you for actually admitting of your story is based on your life. I think that's very brave. You know, we say fiction until we die. Like if anyone says, "Is there any part of your story that's inspired by?" No, it's fiction. Even though it's well, I think life inspires fiction. A lot of it, what we go through, and how we view things, or what is love to me? Love is, I think, finding someone, seeing their deaths, like seeing hundreds of their deaths and hundreds of their rebirths, and loving each version of that person. Because well, I fell in love when I was 15, right? So I was 15, he was 18. So I know for a fact that who I was when I was 15 and he was 18 is not who we are now, that I am in my 30s and he's also in his 30s. So that evolution, that acceptance, that being there, that believing in each other's dreams, and you know, I always feel like the kind of love that for me it's constant, you know, it's that constant blanket where you feel safe enough to shed off all those masks that you have to wear in public, where you don't have to be a strong independent woman, where you can be crazy, where you can, but most of all you must feel safe in that space. That should be your love. Like, and I think the only stories that like that I write that sort of show that kind of that aspect of my love is probably her silent screams a bit, especially when they were in school. And then with the Princess and the Piper, I think that Sipo is sort of he does resemble my husband. Okay, and all my men are tall because I have a thing for tall guys. Okay, but yeah, I think that is what love is for me. I don't know if I answered you well, my president.
Yes, definitely, definitely. You're like, it's like a constant blanket. When you were saying the things that one can do when they're in love, I'm like, yeah, you can even take off your weave and be free at home because that's what love is. And in this story, this lady was dating a guy who even made comments and hated her hair. It's like, if you're not gonna plait it, at least tie it. And it drove her crazy because that was not love. Because when someone loves you, they allow you to be. Yes, there are other things that they must just be able to say, "Ah, but baby, yeah, let's do things this way." Ruzani, my boy, Eunice,
Oh, I'm supposed to go next.
I saw you did a heart when she was
Um,
talking.
yes, because for me, love is basically finding a room of safety in another person, finding safety in another person, being able to be your most vulnerable self, a place where you're able to just unmask. Like Busisiwe said, I relate with most of the things that you basically said. I mean, love is speaks to a lot more of things that we are very uncomfortable of in spaces that we do not feel safe in. That's what defines life for me. And also, I think when you feel seen and heard, and things that you most likely will not even be able to get in masses, and things that you wouldn't even mind, not receiving them from the broader, the broader public or something like that. That's essentially love for me. I think in all aspects, the safety, feeling seen and heard. Yeah. Unfortunately, I couldn't read the book because I didn't get to purchase the book, but I'm definitely going to get it. But when Nkanyiso, I hope I'm not butchering your name. Let me go for it. Yes, when Nkanyiso basically mentioned narcissism, that's one of the things I think most of us basically are unable to pick them up, especially as women. I feel like society has defined a specific way that we are supposed to think and receive love, in a sense that we are not even self-aware enough to know when something that is being done to us or something that is being pushed our way in the form of love isn't love, essentially. So, yeah. And also another thing, I think love is basically you um, being allowed or having the freedom to be loved in a way that makes sense to you. Oh my goodness, I feel like I'm saying a number of things, but essentially love, man, is literally just you being able to soak in being you in another person, or with another person, and not having to worry about the multiple things that you'd have to worry about, that you'd normally worry about when you're just confronted with this and this and that. So yeah. Nkanyiso, I promise I'm gonna get the book. I already love what we're talking about here. So yeah, that's my piece.
Most definitely.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing that. When you were talking, I was just like, yo, yeah, ne? What love is. Because sometimes you think you're in love. Sometimes you even get married for love. I remember when I was younger, and I was like, yo, I'm not gonna get married for love. It's not gonna happen. I'd marry for convenience. For real. I was just like, Andizila Tandrain. Because I was like, there's other things that life needs. And then love found me, and I was
Mm,
like, oh my word. And then even when I hear you talk about these things, I'm like, there is still more to love that I still want to experience. All these words that are being said, I'm just like, okay, I don't think I've got to that in my relationship. I think I still need to get to that. But in this story, Unonhle, it's three girls that are friends, Unonhle, Mihlali, and Minenhle. And I love when I was reading this book, Kanyis, it sounded like those Netflix series or movies that you just watch and you're just like, what's gonna happen next? And boy meets girl, and then they connect, they fall in love. And then there's also the fallout. I was just like, I could actually go and watch this thing, or I see this as a movie that people can enjoy because everyone needs to relate to this type of work. And anyone else that wants to share what love is? Or do you remember when last you fell in love? What was the experience? What has love made you do? I'm fighting the urge to share because, the other gender could be listening. And I'm just like, yo, now I'm going to be sharing and telling you guys about the love of my life. Eunice.
No, I'm just no, I don't want to say much. I don't. But you can go for it. I'll most likely go after you.
Okay. So for me, I was in varsity. It was just hard to follow and share after Bosekile said she was 15, 18, and now they're in their 30s. But some of us, it hasn't been like that. We're not married to the people that we fell in love with. And for me, I was in varsity. And then there was this Congolese man. He was a bartender. And guys, and I fell in love with this guy. The things that I did. And even now, when I look back, I just laugh and I was just like, yo. And then he even learned how to say Mbiluyanga, which means my heart, or he would call me Motema. And it was just so beautiful because even things that you wouldn't normally do, spaces that you wouldn't even get to. He was a DJ as well. He made music. We'd go to a bar and he's playing, and we'd go play pool, things that I would never dream of doing even now. But it was just a chapter in my life where I look back and I'm like, Muralo, you have lived. Travel cities, and then this guy traveled to come see me, spent a couple of weeks, and it was just crazy. But I look back and I was like, yeah, ndamthanda lo muntu. And when he went back, yeah, I know this call is recorded, blah blah blah, but anyway, he came to visit, and then he went back to Cape Town, and then he was like, yo, there's this girl that is pregnant. And I think I'm bringing that up because even now, at the end of this book, there is that happens when she thought everything was going well, all is good in the relationship. She moved from this narcissist, and then she found this other guy, Amtandayo, and then boom, hi, there's someone who's pregnant. I wrote this to Nkanyiso this afternoon when I finished reading to say, just when you think everything is going well, there's always a pregnant somebody that will pop up when you are busy sipping champagne. So for me, what I did, I was just like, yo, I'm going. I booked a weekend in Cape Town. I was in KZN, Devon. I went there and then I asked to meet with her. I sat with her. You know that thing where you just want to see, this person that kujolwa naye for me, are we in the same level? I sat with her and then I told her, see, this guy, Ngamtanda, but you've got my blessings. You guys can continue with your relationship. It was a hurtful thing to do. It was crazy, but I needed that peace because being Mtanda, I haven't seen him in years and years. But I know that if he rocks up, ngizobanga yo, muntu wami. That's me and love. I once fell hard. Eunice?
When are we getting your book? When are we getting your book?
Yo, guys, now I said the book that
You must
I
write
will
a
write
book, President.
Ndizoyenza short
You
stories.
must write a book.
These are my short stories with different names, but I will know those are all my stories. Because yeah, sometimes you read other books and you're like, "Bakhuluma ngami mos." And I think it's time, like how Rosanna said, that we also write our own stories and also share our own experiences. Because when I was reading this, it gave me so much to think about. And one of my favorites, before I come to you, Eunice, that made me stop and think. It was referring to how men cannot love, and that's why God gave them that as a commandment that they must love us. And I was just like, I've never thought of it that way. Because no, we are the ones that are supposed to love. So women must just respect us. And then bona, they were given it as a commandment. There must have been a problem. So it made me want to lower a bit my expectations. But it was just a different viewpoint and also a statement that was like, hey, Konje, these people, they're struggling. That's why they were instructed to love. Eunice?
Oh my goodness, it's coming back to me. um, I think I'm supposed to read this book. Hey, I need to purchase it because I like for the most part what you just said right now. I think I can relate to a lot much more of that. I think I'm one of the few people that actually fear love a lot. I fear I fear allowing myself to experience and also receive love. I've only so far, I'm gonna be turning 29 next year. I've only so far allowed myself to be in a relationship with one person, and the pregnancy stuff that you're mentioning right now, wow. Just when you think you're in a very comfortable space, things like that just literally hit you. And yeah, so for me, basically, hey, love is literally just so many things. Love is literally just so many things and some things to be seriously feared, right? Because the minute you think, oh, I can literally just relax here and this is the place. Something else just comes back and hits you. And I've always really been that person as well to say, I'm not so sure if I'm someone who was made for these things because hey, there's a whole lot going on in there. And in terms of also just stomaching things like pain, being confrontational a bit and resolving your conflicts and the likes and things like that. That was very mature of you to even go and sit with a person and tell them it's okay. With me, I just disappeared. I just disappeared to date, and I'm just like, I'm just really just comfortable hiding in my own spot, and basically pouring the very same love that I feel I should have maybe received, or maybe that it should have maybe been in some way. So yeah, man, I don't want to go too deep, but that's essentially the thing for me. I'm still reading, I think, in those in those phases or seasons where I'm still trying to figure out what love is for me or what love looks like for me. And I think when I get to a point where I feel like this is really what love would really feel like for me, or what would really feel safe for me when it comes to love, then I'll most likely try again. But yeah,
I
yeah,
was
that's
a
it.
constant blanket, as Sisekile says, uzoyithola. But there are different ways in which people deal with things. And Nonhle in this book was crazy. And she was fine when she started, and then she dated this guy, and then he was just gaslighting, manipulating, doing this and that, even stalking her, sending his friends to come um, where she is. I know in previous sessions we spoke about this, and one of the ladies here mentioned the stalking Dontoni. So it's just one of those realities that you just need to accept that this is the way that I deal with things, and it's okay. Sometimes you just need to hide. Sometimes you run. Sometimes you choose to collide with
Mm.
yeah. Busekile, I see your hand.
Oh yeah. When you told me about the book, when you were asking me about if all Zimbabweans study law, I laughed and I really wanted to read the book. But yeah, life is crazy in December. Life is crazy, and with the kids on holiday, yeah, it's hard. But I'm definitely getting the book. But
I cannot hear Busekile on my side. Can you guys still hear her?
I think we've lost her.
Yeah, I can't hear her.
After she mentions Zimbabweans and studying law, I just had to ask because Nkanyiso, you made law look so something I want to explore. You're like, it's the language for human, something like that. Um, yeah. So which part there is you? Are you Mihlali? Are you Nonhle? Are you Minenhle?
Okay. Okay. So the truth is, Mihlali has her own story. It's the one I'm writing now, and there are bits and pieces of me that I put in Mihlali. But mostly for that story. So Busisegela was like, oh my goodness, you're so brave. No one ever owns up to the trauma being theirs. I did that because there's like only 10 of us here. But should I ever be on a world stage, I'll be like, guys, it's fiction. But anyway, yeah, most of my story is in Nonhle. Most of the story is in Nonhle. My own experience dating a narcissist and everything that taught me, and yeah. So most of me is in Nonhle. There's a bit of me in Metembe as well, actually, but most of me is in Nonhle. And I just want to say I understand you, Eunice. I think we're alike in that way, that it's just not confrontational, and also fearing love. So my fear of love came from the fact that when I was 10, my mom passed away. And then I also had a cousin, my favorite cousin. She also passed away when she was 5. And so I think somehow I told myself that, you know what, when you love people, they die, you know. And, you know, sometimes you tell yourself these things and subconsciously they just kind of remain in you. And so I feel like maybe that's how I actually ended up with a narcissist, because I was laughing when Mulalo says, she fell in love when she was in varsity. Because when you started talking, I remembered a guy from college also. He had, you know, those one big earrings. He wore these big flat caps. He was a club DJ. He smoked. I'm asthmatic. I really can't do people that smoke, but that one I loved, you know. And so when you're like, what does love make you do? Like, yeah, put up with cigarette smoke, you know, with my asthmatic self. But then I ran away from that. And it was so bad. Like when he moved on, he actually came to ask me, can you believe it? Like he came to ask me if he could move on. And he did, with another girl at the same college. And one time I'm talking to this girl. He says, come to my room, come see my room. And my goodness, you smoked weed. Okay. Okay. So I remember I was talking to this girl. I didn't really know who she was. I just met her. And she says, no, come to my room and get whatever. I can't remember what it was. And I get in there and I find this guy there. That was his new hand. Guys, I was so heartbroken. And he noticed and he came after me and we had to talk about it. And still when you think about it, like, but guys, who comes after someone who broke up with them, you know? So I understand you entirely, Eunice, where you say, you know what, I'm just afraid of love and what. And I like how Mulalo then says, you know what, that's just you and how you deal with stuff. And just be gentle with yourself. You know, if you need to find your way out of it, you'll find your way out of it. Yeah, so that's all I wanted to say.
Anyone else that wants to come in? Busisiwe, Catherine?
I got cut off. I don't know what I was saying. Zoom kicked me out.
Sorry, welcome back.
Hello? Oh yeah.
You
So
can
I was
continue.
saying that, yeah, there's also that aspect that a lot of us neglect. And I had a friend telling me that, yeah, she used to run away in relationships. Like at the first sign of whatever trouble, she would just, should just leave, because she is a strong, independent Black woman, very accomplished. And so she had that, I don't need. And then this guy came, and I think it was after she started her spiritual journey, and she kept dreaming of this guy, and she didn't even know this guy. And now she's like, at times when I want to leave him, my gang is like, no, no, no. So at times, I think there's that aspect also of love, of spiritual connections that form some bonds. It's been an interesting concept for me because I just love exploring everything love, but learning about spiritual connections when it comes to love and all that stuff has been very enlightening. And also the fact that it's scary that some men only propose love to you because they want to use you spiritually. It's frightening, but yes, it's frightening. There are some people who love bomb you and you think, yo, this guy, he's so in love with me and whatever. And then later on you discover that he was actually using you because in whenever you sleep with someone, there are spiritual ties that are formed, or whenever that person has that access to you, or wherever you feel safe enough to be vulnerable to that person, they now have access to you and your spirituality, which is a level of love that I feel like we take for granted, but which we should guard. So at times, don't rush into relationships, or if your gut is telling you no, he's not the one, leave him, because yeah, it's a lot. And I feel like we neglect the spiritual aspect of love.
I love that. I once bumped into that information about that soul ties, something like that. And I read it, I was just like, I'm not reading further. I chuck it away because now I'm the kind of person that wants to own my experiences and always want to tell the story from my side. I find it very disturbing when people are like, yeah, this guy did this and this to this girl. And I'm like, if I was telling that story, Nami, there's a 1, 2, 3. Um, but not in a self-destructing way. And while reading the book, chapter 11, Lifeline, got me thinking because this girl was just going through a lot. She's from royalty, like how Nkanyiso mentions, but you'll find out more detail as you read the book. I would encourage everyone to just grab your copy and read through it. But she speaks about um, where she met this guy, and he was talking about um, how getting back that which is lost is part of the human journey. And she says you cannot give up fighting for your own life because sometimes, like I said earlier on, love sometimes make us do crazy things. And sometimes you even want to take your own life. You want to hurt yourself. You want to take decisions that are not for your own benefit. Sometimes you don't even take those decisions because you love someone. An opportunity comes up, you don't raise your hand because you love someone. But with the other gender, there's an opportunity. Bazokubona mawabuya. So I just want us to at least touch a bit on that. Um, and something profound that I got from the book was when it was written that you cannot take your life and hurt the people who love you because of one person who doesn't. And love doesn't make you want to commit suicide. Um, I know it's a heavy one after what we were talking about. And I know some of us have personal experiences where we've done crazy things for love. And this might not be the platform to share, but let us take time to reflect. If it's something that triggers you, my apologies. But okay, I was just saying the message about a print copy. Um, but it's something that the one would need to reflect on and also heal. Because for me, that lifeline conversation was something that I was just like, oh my word. I wish I had read this book sooner. And I'm grateful that I've read the book because, like how you said, I even text you to say, by reading this book, I have healed. And um, it's about choosing yourself and also staying for yourself. So Anyone else that would want to come in, share something? As we love people, sometimes we lose pieces of ourselves. You could start in a relationship as a very quiet person. You love your own space, and then you date someone that will take you to spaces that you wouldn't want to go. Or you would be nice, you enjoy. On chapter 9, she says, grapes and berries are fruits and very good for breakfast. Maybe you enjoy your berries and that those things don't happen anymore and you lose those parts of yourself. Catherine, I saw you were unmuted.
I don't have much to say, but I haven't read the book also, so yeah. I just wanted to say love is a very amazing thing to experience, but it is also a dangerous thing if it comes off the wrong way. For example, it could be genuine love or it could be obsessive love. And I think there's a thin line between that, and we fail to see if it's genuine or if it's just obsessive love. And yeah, man, love is a beautiful thing, having that one person that sees you for you, that understands you, that one person where you don't have to wear a mask around, that one person that sometimes you feel like ripping their head off, but then you love them so much, you want them near you. And yeah, that's all I wanted to say.
Thank you. The book also touches on sisterhood. I think we spoke most about the relationship with sisters when we reviewed Thicker Than Water in September. But as I was reading this, I thought sometimes we take the people that we're given as sisters or as siblings for granted, and sometimes we fight with them and later on realized that actually in all those fights or in most of those fights they were actually fighting for us, which was a nice twist on the book. And I also love um, the book, even the digital version. Some people when you say ebook, they think, okay, this is like a PDF type of vibe. I was reading it in the website. I also made sure that my sound on my laptop is on. And also, as I turn the page, it looks like I'm turning a physical page, and that click of the sound. Take us through that, Nkanyiso. So some of us will be writing very soon. How do we get to do that?
Okay, so I used a plugin called Flipbooks because I was thinking of, okay, so the printing cost, it might be a lot for most people and maybe even for me. But I know that there are people who just love the feel and the sound of a book and the flipping of pages. So that plugin actually allows you to do that. So the online version actually feels like the actual book. It moves, you can turn the pages and they make a sound. And so that's why I made it like that. And then the stuff you said earlier about losing pieces. Okay, so sometimes when someone is not your person, when someone is not all the things that we said love is, like they're not your safe space, they're not your blanket, they always find something wrong with you and they can't embrace you as you are. So it's like someone who comes into a relationship with those pruning shears, and they're there to just cut off things about you that annoy them. And so that's what happens with Unonhle. The guy doesn't like her hair, doesn't like her feet, doesn't like her what. And that's just the outward representation of also maybe some of the things that she's losing inside. So throughout the story, you can see that this girl is falling apart. And that's what sometimes it's not even the love for that other person that makes us do that. It's your wanting to be loved. Because I remember when I was young, I had friends, 5 of them. So we're like these 6 girls that were always together. And there's this friend of mine who was very nice, especially to guys. Like she'd go the extra mile. She could do whatever for the guy, cook for the guy, wash for the guy. And I was saying to my other friend, oh my goodness, she's such a giver. She is so kind and so nice. And this other girl, the other friend, she was the most mature one of us. She's like, no, she's ukuthandwa. Like that's why she says like, hi, ukuthandwa. Like she just is trying to beg this guy to love her. So sometimes you find this love in quotes, which you have to work so hard for and give up pieces of yourself for and overdo stuff for, and that is not love. So yeah, that's what I wanted to show with that part, that she was just doing so much damage to herself just to try and get this person to love her right, as she would say. Yeah.
Thank you. If anyone wants to contribute or share, you can use the hands or emoji or unmute. And I just want to get other people's view on this. There is a statement or something that we hear all the time, either referring to friends or family. But in the book, you mentioned that the problem with telling your friends your mjolo problems is that even after you and your man have resolved things and made up, your friends still hold onto the past. So even with family, even on Facebook, people give advice to say, don't tell your family about your problems. I once saw even this pastor, but I didn't listen to the whole story, where he was going to the wedding and then he takes off his jacket and there was a hole at the back and then he was saying, these are our problems. But as I was coming in, you couldn't see them because cover up, like the society wants us to cover up. But now there's a lot of voices where people are saying, hey, I'm in therapy, and it's become normal. And sometimes you just want to share with your friends in terms of what's going on in your life. What are your guys' take on this? Because there's instances where people take their lives for love and nobody knows what has happened or what was happening. But for me, I'm one kind that think I need to share with someone just in case I wake up and do crazy things like in Nonhle. We ended up buying termite poison and wanted to drink it, saved by a friend. But what is your take about sharing about what is happening in your life with your loved ones? Because any love is not just you and your mjolo.
Mm,
Okay, I used to be one of those people who did not share until I realized I was suffocating and dying slowly. So I found that it was easier to share, but not with one person. And at times I'll talk in, this person, this is this and this and that happened. And just to get an advice or just to offload, but without necessarily saying this is what's happening to me, because at times you get embarrassed by the stuff that you're stomaching and you don't want to say, hey, this is what happened. And because you know that there might be judgments and whatever. So at times, but I find offloading is really good for the mind, and even offloading the person when it's necessary.
Thank you for sharing. Eunice, I saw you had unmuted.
Yeah, I think another thing that I feel like society may have not gotten so right was actually convincing us that not sharing certain things is actually okay. I do understand the concept of maybe having to deal with conflict post having shared certain things with people that are very closest to you. But I also just feel cool. The people that are closest to you are also the same people that you most likely find a specific level of safety in. So maybe in saying you should, they might not be able to adjust or see the person the same post that. I guess value that's maybe collateral, I guess, after certain things have happened, because value life is like that. For me, I think you just can't keep quiet about things like that. They actually, like you said, things like that normally also just push you to. I feel like they push you to specific levels, man. You find yourself mutating into something else in specific aspects of you. You change in some way. And it's also just okay to basically just go, you know what, I went through this and this and that, and this is why maybe these elements of me do not show up as you actually know them. And yeah, and when you are very lucky enough to have people that are supportive and actually people that are also able to see you enough like that, you don't get to, to go through that specific phase where you maybe aren't okay alone. So for me, I don't, I'm not the person that I love privacy a lot, but I don't believe in constantly having to, to shut, uh, to shut specific elements of yourself to yourself, because if it hurts you, that's your body basically telling you, go, you're unable to process this by yourself. You need to get help. So, or maybe even if it's not necessarily getting help, if your body is, if you're happy about something, like was it Catherine? She mentioned something about being loved, being beautiful, man, something along those lines. Sometimes it's also just you wanting to exude a lot of happiness, man. You want to share a lot from a place of happiness and abundance. So it shouldn't be, man. Certain things are not supposed to be hidden, man. I wish we'd get to a place where we don't necessarily feel the need to succumb to specific societal norms, especially in things like that, like this. I'm not saying overshare. I'm not saying sit with people and constantly complain about what's going wrong, or maybe also what's going right in your love life and the likes. But for me, it's, find something, a space where you feel very safe and offload, have people that actually get to see you enough and want to walk journeys with you, regardless of whether or not they are as happy or not. And I'm saying this because I'm one of the people that understand what not saying things actually does to a person. So in terms of love, I think, yeah, we
Thank you
have to
so
find a way to share, man.
for sharing that. When you say offload, I felt that because now, like I said, na share, guys. And I think what's important is just knowing where you are sharing, because sometimes it's things that are so simple, but it's just crazy in your head because you're looking at the situation, taking into account everything else that you have experienced or things that you know. But with workplaces, now I'm speaking for employee wellness. So please also check in your places of work if there is support that they offer their employees. I know there's also spaces where they offer the services, the SADC, where they offer that services for free, where you can just call and talk to someone, get counseling, get their thoughts. And sometimes it's simple decisions, or maybe it's cases where decisions are being made for you, but you just want somebody's thoughts on the matter and a different perspective. So that does help. Catherine and then Nkanyiso.
Okay, I even forgot what I wanted to say. Oh my God. So we're talking about sort of telling somebody or venting about your relationship. So oh my God, it's running away from me. I wanted to say, I think for me personally, going back to the what is love question, I knew it was love when I didn't need to tell anybody about it. I knew it was love when I didn't need to get somebody's opinion on it. Like, I met this guy, like, what do you think? That is when I knew it was love. Like, I made the decision by myself that I want this person. And as much as they have their flaws, this is what I want. And I remember a couple of days ago, my friend was like, is your boyfriend still around? I was like, yeah, he's around and we're good. And I realized that I don't need to constantly share my happy moments and find that validation from, other people. Like, constantly trying to prove that I'm happy to other people. I know I'm happy. So that is when I knew that this is love. Yeah, that's what I
Catherine, when they're asking if he's still around, they want him. Nkanyiso?
So I wanted to say narcissism thrives in isolation. So if you find, like in the book, that guy, the bad guy, he had a problem with Nonhle's friends from jump, because what a narcissist does to you, it only works if you're alone. Because if you're with someone else, they'll be like, no, guys, this is not okay. So you could see, like, every time she'd say something to them, no, he doesn't like it when I go out. He doesn't like it when I whatever. They'd always point out that chick, like something is wrong. And that's what a narcissist doesn't want. And so you'll find that the narcissists themselves, they don't want you having friends that are not them. They don't want you hanging out with other people. They become your only person. It's like, you know how a python will wrap itself around you and then crush your bones. That's exactly how it works. It isolates you, it wraps itself around you, and you are all it knows. And your world is just restricted, confined, and reduced to just them. And most of them, because they're also takers, they're jealous when you do stuff for other people. So they don't want you doing stuff for other people. So you'll find even in the book, like if she said, I'm cooking for my friends, they'd have a problem with it. They just want all of you to themselves. And that is toxic, is detrimental to your mental health, to your mental wellness. And so when you find this stuff showing up in society, it's because there's a lot of toxicity in our societies anyway, especially when it comes to Black women. There's so much that we've been taught that is actually toxic and which perpetrates toxic masculinity, etc., etc. So even that statement that no, you shouldn't tell other people the things that happen here, that's a very toxic thing to say. People must talk, people must share stuff. You find safe spaces outside of the relationship where you can talk to someone. Otherwise you're just playing right into the hands of the narcissist. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
Thank you. I see there's a chat function. There's a chat, Lina. I'll just read it and then I'll come to you, Busisiwe. She's written that our society, where did it go? Okay, something just came in. She's saying that our cultural beliefs and societal norms, especially in the Black community, makes it difficult to share sometimes. We were made to pretend or go about life as if some things don't exist. You don't talk about your pain. You don't share matters of your house with outsiders. Your bedroom life remains in the bedroom, and that's that, amongst others. Even when things aren't okay there, you shouldn't burden people with your luggage, etc., etc. Said. Yeah, it is quite sad, but like how you said, Nkanya, so people must talk because the things that this thing does to your mental health, sometimes you just explode and people wonder what's going on. And it seems like you're the one that's crazy when there's a lot of small crazy things that have been happening around you. So I say let's find spaces or let's create safe spaces where we can talk and also be able to breathe. Um, when we started the year, we had the aspect of accountability partners. I still chat to my accountability partner, just find out how she's doing. And sometimes the conversation becomes about Njolo. Sometimes it becomes about the travels. It becomes about the businesses and the programs that we both are doing. And it just allows us to breathe, actually. So I think it's very important to find ways. And also there was something that was shared about asking, where I ended up writing asking for a friend, where you don't have to say that this is you going through this stuff, but find a way to find other people's thoughts or brain cells into the matter themselves. Sometimes even ask the person who's the problem, put it as a story and hear their thoughts. And or something came to mind. I'll come to you with Siwa. When we were reading Before the Narcissist Strike in May, um, I wanted us to do a reflection session, like take time to reflect, because most of the times when we read these books, it's always the guy that's portrayed doing this and that and that. And then we think narcissism or being a narcissist is something that the other gender does. But as we read these books, I think it's also important to take a mirror, look at ourselves, reflect on our behaviors, our activities. I know sometimes we like to point it to certain things that are happening in our lives or not happening in our lives, but I think the book club or reading the books should allow us to be human as well and also see other people as individuals that need the love, the affection, the respect, and also to experience this constant blanket that we speak about, the place of safety. Because for the world to be a better place, we must both play our parts. Bosisiwe?
Oh, I think you've said a mouthful and covered me in a way. But also, I wanted to say at times we get into relationships more out of excitement without actually knowing what we are looking for and what it should look like and what will stomach and not stomach. And when these things happen, we don't become aware of them until we are right in the middle of it and are unable to live as quickly as we should have because we didn't define what it should look like and what it should feel like. So those are some of the things that get people stuck in relationship they should not be for the longest time. Unlike the blessed one, like Ubusisekile, who at the age of 13 already, they were already there. Some of us are way above that and we're still scared, like Eunice, to be honest.
15, please. I liked things, but 15, not 30.
Okay, 15, 13. Okay, 15.
You liked things, Wamadon. Um, I'm on the December mood, guys. I think let's do final thoughts as we close, and then maybe you can start with Sekile. And from the conversation that we've just had, what are we going to do differently? What moved for you, or what would you like to share with us when it comes to love?
I think everything is a personal journey, At times we get so caught up in social media, and we think that what you see on social media and also how you're going to appear on social media affects how you view love or the kind of love that you end up accepting because now you've shown this guy because most narcissists they love bomb you in the beginning. They bomb you and now you are in love and he wants you to post him always and you're always posting him, and then all of a sudden now when you start seeing these things, at times we are forced to keep up these appearances because of social media. So do what makes you happy, even if it doesn't make sense to other people, even if it seems as if you like things. Yes, Mulando side eye. Uh, but it's really an interesting story, and I wanted to ask Nkanyiso if she's considered putting her book on Amazon. I think that would help in terms of shipping because I saw someone in the chat saying they're in the USA and they want the book. Let me tell you, sending the book will be 3 times the cost of the actual book. So have you considered Amazon? Because they also do print on demand and you don't have to pay anything. You just upload your book there and it reaches a wider audience. And it's like, what can I say? It's what do you call this? Finance people, what do you call this? Money that just comes to you without you actually working for it. What is it? It's
Is it
what
passive?
income? You
Passive.
Yes, passive
Passive
income. Yes,
income.
yes, it's passive income. Like, let me tell you, I cashed in like 25K from Amazon. Just, it's just nice when the money comes. So, do consider Amazon. Don't sleep on Amazon. Amazon is actually where the money is. And also, don't be afraid to put your book on Kindle Unlimited because it reads as a free read, but that's actually where you get most of your money from because they pay per page depending on how many times a person reads. So if a person decides to read your book 5 times on Kindle Unlimited, they'll pay for the number of pages that they read on that. So yeah, that is my 2 cents, and I'm looking forward to reading your work. It's always nice hearing about the stories and upcoming authors, and yeah, thank you, Mlado, for the session. I enjoyed it so much, and Nkanyiso, all the best.
Thank you so much. Busisiwe, you're next. Last words. We're all guest speakers.
Me now just keep on jolling, not for love, just for getting warm under the bed and enjoying the fruits and running when it gets too hectic. But otherwise, let's have fun, people. It's December.
Just like that. I love how you put it. Catherine?
Hey, I'm still in disbelief. Musi, did you really say that? Oh my God, I didn't expect that. Yeah, man. I don't have words, but I'm looking forward to
Yes, man.
reading the
You
book.
must read my mini memoir. If you are shocked now, you'll be really shocked because I just who I am.
I'm coming to read that. Okay, yeah. Love is a beautiful thing, and yeah, if you get hurt, it's life. Try again next time.
Oh, Kuchoti, there's kids. If you are 16, somebody was falling in love at 15. They will always say that you are late. Society, even 25-year-olds have stress, some jolo, because they think they're late. So when if you're 16, people were falling in love at 15. Eunice?
Um, yeah. I don't have much to say except to say that
I'm
I enjoyed the
I'm
session.
catching my subs. I'm catching my subs. It's fine. It's fine.
I loved this. I loved this session so much. It was very interesting and a very nice way to relax and end the year. Thank you so much, Nkanyiso. Thanks, Mulalu. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, ladies.
Sawonga, we can go jolling now. Lena, you are next. Oh, she said she's 16 and ran away. Masabata, she can unmute and share your thoughts, last words. Introduce yourself as well. Rudzani, Tawanda. over to you.
I have thoroughly enjoyed being a part of this session. And also, I wanted to say that my mom, Carolyn Talley, also has joined the session. So she's also a part of this. And we've really had a wonderful time. And we thank you, ladies, so much. And we hope that you have a great holiday season. And we look forward to future sessions.
Thank you so much. Yo, I can imagine in a session with my mom. That would be so lovely. Yeah. So welcome, and we're glad that she joined in on the session. Victorine. What people are out jolling, eh? Or they she says okay, she can't talk. A jol, family dinner. Thank you so much, ladies. Any last thoughts?
Hey
Okay.
guys, just so you know, I recently just got my PhD, so I'm still in a celebratory mood with the family. And I just quickly excuse myself to tell you this, please. It's a very good book. I've listened to every bit of it. I just can't talk.
Thank you and congratulations. I saw on
Thank
Facebook you were like, I'm introducing you to, I was just like, yo, I want wait to
you. Exactly.
congratulations.
Thank you, baby. Thank you so much. Thank you. So I'm not meaning to be rude. Just please excuse me.
No problem. Enjoy
I
the
have
family
listened. I have listened to everything.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. And I've also gotten tips on the ebook I'll implement on my own site. Thank you for that.
Yes, most definitely. The flip, what to flip what?
Yeah, the flip.
Page.
Yeah, flip page.
Yes. Because it's in spaces
That is
like this where we get to know and hear of these things. You do to put your book on Amazon and then you think, oh,
And
Musi,
how
how much
much
does
you
it
did
even
charge
cost?
from Amazon? That's a lot. Yeah. My
How
books
much
are on
does it
Amazon,
cost?
but I don't on market. So I would actually put more effort. Haven't listened to you.
Sawonga.
Thank you. And congratulations. It's been a great book.
Thank you. Busekile Kumalo,
Yeah.
spill the beans. Amazon.
Hello?
Singena kanjani ku-Amazon?
Okay, so you go to KDP, Amazon KDP, and then you register there, you register your account. Then it's quite straightforward. They let you know how to. Although I had someone do it for me because I'm just a writer, which is okay. But I had someone do it for me. So I'm not really sure of the steps, but I know that you just go on Amazon KDP and then you upload. So the tips that I can give is that you'd rather upload your work as a Word document instead of a PDF, because a PDF it's easier for them to reject it, but your Word document they can adjust it accordingly to their standards. Yeah.
And then
And
cost-wise?
also it's free. It's free to
Haibo.
upload on Amazon. It is free. Free. You don't pay anything. Oh. You don't pay anything. What they do is they pay you if people buy your book, if people read your book. So my books are on Amazon worldwide. So I get money income from Amazon UK, Australia, Germany. I just advertise my book on social media and I share the links on my page. It's free. You do
Lie.
this for free, and they actually even print the books for you for free if people want to buy. And even though people don't buy print as much as they do ebooks, but still it's still a lot of money. So imagine getting that amount without putting anything in. It's yeah.
Haibo, thank you so much for sharing because we just think it's expensive. We don't do it.
It's free. The thing that I'm going to try to do next year that I'm going to try to implement is Amazon ads because I never use ads. I just use social media. But I've heard people saying they make up to six figures using Amazon ads or Facebook ads. So I'm still researching on that. But yeah.
Okay, thank you for sharing. Busiwe, I saw you unmuted.
Oh no, I was just saying with PDF, it now allows you as well to adjust accordingly. So because I've been uploading my books now for the past 3 years, so there's an option to adjust. You just follow the prompts, but it's really easy to upload. You just follow the prompts.
Yeah. Okay. I thought it's very expensive and you have to pay like a monthly amount. Where did I hear things like that? Where you're expected to pay monthly for platforms to sell your books. But anyway,
I don't know. But what you do fee for is if you're a reader. If you're a reader and you sign up for Kindle Unlimited, but it's a small amount and you read unlimited, well, in well, whichever titles are under Kindle Unlimited. But yeah, as a writer, you don't pay anything on Amazon.
thank you. Please, Nkanyiso, over to you. We are your people.
Yes, I'm here. Thank you so much. Thank you, Busisegile, for saying that. So I'm going to say something, but Mulala, I don't want you to laugh.
Okay.
I know you're going to laugh, but the thing is, you can't register for Amazon when you're in Zim. So I do want to get my books onto
I will
Amazon. So I have
laugh.
my cousin. You can't get onto Amazon from my country. Eunice is laughing. You can't. So I've got my cousin. So when Busisegele was talking, I actually followed up on her. Girl, how far? Because she has the book. She opened an Amazon account. She just needs to upload it. And yeah, so I will get it on Amazon as soon as I can. But otherwise, thank you so much, ladies, for coming in, for the expression of interest. Thank you, Mulalo, for reading my book. I joined Empowered Woman last year. And thank you so much, ladies, for receiving me. And thank you to Catherine. So when I started writing, I created a group. It was supposed to be for Zimbabwean storytellers, and Catherine joined that group. And I used to ask her so many questions, and she was so gracious, and she'd answer because I was just trying to find my way. You know, sometimes passion isn't enough. You need to know stuff, you know, and sometimes you just know by asking those who know. And so thank you so much, Catherine, for holding my hand, for showing me the ropes. No, this is how you get stuff out. This is where you publish. This is what you do. And you and Busisegile are such an inspiration because I know you're from Zim originally. And what's her name? Yvonne Maposa as well. So it's been a lovely journey. I've met amazing people, and thank you so much to all of you. I'm actually teary-eyed, you know. I'm like, oh wow, especially when Milalo said the Netflix stuff, because that's what my publisher also said. She was like, you know what, I think your book, and I actually cried. So thank you, thank you, thank you so much, ladies. And Merry Christmas to all of you and all the best for the new year.
Thank you, ladies. That brings us to an end. Apologies, we went over time, but it was just gonna be not nice to just cut it to say, "Hey, o'clock, we are going." I really enjoyed spending the time with you, ladies, and wish you well for the festive seasons. And thank you so much for coming today when we decided to say, let's move it from Sunday to today, because I was telling Catherine, get to Sundays. So I send my body shorts. So that's things that we don't want our parents to see us in. But it's festive, so have fun, get the rest that you need. and we will share the reading list for the following year, hopefully before the year actually comes to an end. But all the details, we appreciate your commitment as well in helping us with the book selection. So yeah, thank you all, and all the best to you guys for 2025.
Thank you, Mulalo.
Thank you, Milano. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone. Bye.
See you later.
Bye.